Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Auphanim. So I told you we were going to get deep this week, and I always keep my word. We're gonna do a little something with Lightnet because every time I think about Lightnet, and I know that there's one more entity that wants to use XLM to replace Swift, I'm overly excited because that money feels so good. I just start thinking about bricks of money. Now, maybe I shouldn't because, I mean, if the dollar does lose a lot of value and crypto shoots up in value, then you probably wouldn't just spend the crypto outright, right? But I get very excited thinking about that. So we're going to do a little bit of research on Lightnet today. And wouldn't you know, what did I pull up? But let's start here. Lightnet, okay, I want to reiterate what Lightnet is to you. Lightnet aims to replace the decades-old traditional Swift system. This is right from their website. So I want to read it to you again so you can take this serious. Read those PDFs from Swift of how much money they move, how many banks they're connected to, and then understand what they want XLM to do. Let me read it again. This is of the utmost seriousness. For those who are holding XLM, know what you hold. I can't tell you what to do. I'm not here to tell you what to do, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Understand what they want XLM to do. So now IBM told you they want XLM to replace Swift. And now you have Lightnet, as I told you. Lightnet, which is dominating in Southeast Asia. Sorry about that. Lightnet wants to replace Swift. Let me read that again. This is right from lightnet.io/about. Lightnet aims to replace the decades-old traditional Swift system by reducing the transaction time and cutting cross-border transfer fees, which are extravagant, by the way. It's ridiculous. Soon to revolutionize the entire finance industry throughout Asia and onto the world. So that gives you a little bit of a outlook also. So first they want to dominate Asia. Then it says and onto the world, which means then they're going to, once they do that and accomplish that, then they're looking to stretch out to the rest of the world, which is definitely possible. Lightnet, what they are trying to do is very, very interesting. And look at their advisors just in case. So you know that they have a linkage to the Stellar Foundation, direct linkage to the Stellar Foundation, okay? Their advisors are Jed McCaleb, okay? Founder and chief architect of the Stellar Development Foundation. So just in case, because there's a lot of people that have these problems with certain individuals when XLM is a decentralized protocol. So even though, yeah, they can reach out to Stellar Foundation, they didn't have to. Stellar doesn't control XLM. It's already there. It's like, you know, they help upgrade it and things like that, but they don't control it. But Lightnet probably has some questions about it. And they're going to have to reach out to those people that put XLM out there and have the most knowledge about XLM. But also an advisor is David Mazieres, founder and chief scientist of the Stellar Development Foundation. So one of Lightnet's advisors is the chief scientist of the Stellar Development Foundation. And he is one of the advisors for an entity that wants XLM to replace Swift. So Stellar Foundation is privy of this, that XLM could be used to replace Swift, right? Okay, now let's continue on here. So I was telling you before that one of the main investors of Lightnet owns, I believe they said all of the 7-Elevens in Japan. Okay, so here's a little piece. This is from fintechfutures.com because we're going somewhere with this because I have to say that because I believe some people sometimes they're like, we heard this already. The pathway, sometimes we walk the same pathway and go and end up at a different location. And that's what's going to happen here. Walk this pathway with me. We're going somewhere. So it says investor 7 Bank owns all the 7-Eleven stores in Japan. Let me say that again. That's mind-blowing. The implications of that are mind-blowing. Investor 7 Bank. So now we have another bank that's investing in an XLM product, but you know, let's just keep that in mind. 7 Bank owns all the 7-Elevens in Japan. And that's not all. I didn't look into this part. Now they're going to give me something else to research. And 69,200 convenience stores across the globe. Oh, and I need to look into this as well. I'll tell you why I'm saying that in a moment. It says, while Uni President Asset Holdings owns 9,000 Starbucks and 7-Eleven locations across Taiwan, China, and Philippines. I have to look into Uni President Asset Holdings, and you know, I should have done that. Maybe we'll do that in the next video. So 7 Bank owns all of these 7-Eleven stores. So what's the first thing that I would think? First thing I would say to myself after hearing that, who is 7 Bank? What do their financials look like? That's exactly what Auphanim would ask. So then we're going to go do a search. So we did a search here. We're going to pull up their PDF. I'm going to put the PDF first in the members only section so they can have it first and they can comb over it themselves. Okay. So I'll try to do that immediately after I finish this video. And then the members only section, you could tear that apart. Get their financials. You're going to have to run yen into US dollars and such like that. But you'll have all the information. Why is this important? If 7 Bank is one of the biggest investors in Lightnet, of course they want to benefit from it. It's the same with Uni President Asset Holdings. If they are one of the biggest investors in this project, they would want to benefit from it. Which means what? If they own all of the 7-Elevens, then they would want those 7-Elevens to be able to benefit from this system or any infrastructure that comes out of this system. Correct? And they, being a very large business institution, obviously it's a 7 Bank. It's a bank. They have been suffering at the hands of the legacy system, which would make them apt to use something new where they could save money and not be at the mercy of the terrible, horrible SWIFT system. Which means what for you and I as XLM holders? Could you imagine if they actually, and there's no time frame on this, but at some point in the future, if all of those 7-Elevens in Japan are utilizing XLM as a currency, a bridge currency, as a cryptocurrency rail? Could you imagine? What does it do to that price? Huh? What does it do to that price? That's why this is important. That's why when they drop names like this, I have my notepad out and I'm writing things down. And then I'm going to research. I want to know who's this entity that they're mentioning and how much money do they make? How much money stands to flow across that blockchain? And I add it to the list of all the other amounts that I have. Now I can redo my calculations on where I personally think that price can go. And everybody's going to have a different calculation because everybody's going to take different things seriously or not, you know, or have a lack of seriousness when it comes to certain things. So you want to know what you believe is possible for XLM to land. But here you have an institution that invested, and so we have to take it seriously. So I looked up 2021 7 Bank financials. Of course I did. Why would I not? So let's go over here. Okay, let's pull that up. We had to go to 7bank.co.jp. All right, and then they also have a section with their quarterlies if you want to look at their quarterly reports. Okay, and that might actually be a little bit better to look at their quarterly reports because with the annual report, what you have is a condensed version. I'd rather read the full version. I'll do that later. But since I have to put out a little bit of content today, we're going to go over the condensed version, which is found in the annual report. And they have a lot of stuff. This is a 67-page document. OK, and I will read every little bit of this. I've read a little piece of this. We're going to jump right into this section here. This is on page 82. OK, we're starting in a consolidated balance sheet. And that's what I was saying before. So this is consolidated, it's condensed. So you might get a little bit more of a better picture of their financials and such in their quarterly reports, which are available on their website also. Okay, so here's some numbers for you. Here you go. All right. Consolidated balance sheet, 7 Bank, March 31st, 2021 and 2022. They use those two as a comparison, but you already know how these things go when we look at these financial assets. Cash due from banks. 937,945 yen. Security, 78,154 yen. ATM related temporary payments, 83,681 yen. We're not going to do the comparison. This is only from 2021. I'm not going to read 2022. But there is a significant increase. Well, I'll just do one just to give you an idea of the growth that they're experiencing. They have experienced some good growth, and I would assume that unless something happens, this is only going to continue. So for instance, cash and due from banks is 937,945 yen in 2021, but in 2020 it's 848,446 yen. So that's pretty good growth in my humble opinion, which shows me that this is a healthy company. Of course, I would assume that because they own all of the 7-Elevens, and 7-Elevens do pretty good business, in my humble opinion. Like, you know, intangible fixed assets, 34,857, okay, yen. Deposits, so here's their liabilities. Deposits, 783,408 yen. Borrowed money, 591 yen. So, okay, that's the borrowed money. It's very interesting there. ATM-related temporary advances, 47,046 yen. And other liabilities, 20,839 yen. So let's go to their net assets, okay? Capital surplus, 30,724 yen. Retained earnings, 168,694 yen. Total net assets, 234,676 yen. And total liabilities and net assets, 1,197,158 yen. Let's continue on here. Net income, 25,737 yen. Let's continue on here. Owners, okay, that's some parent company stuff there. That's not something that we need to delve into, really. Comprehensive income, 25,605 yen. Okay, so we have something here to dig into. Cash flows for operating activities, income before income taxes, 35,655 yen. There is so much information here. Okay, cash due from banks. Here's cash here, 2021 millions of yen. Oh yeah, sorry about that. Okay, keep in mind, this is millions of yen, okay? All right, my apologies. I'm reading this like, I'm like 802,247 yen. My apologies. This is in millions of yen, okay? Millions. They're like, Auphanim, that doesn't sound like a lot of yen. It's a whole lot of yen, actually. This is in millions of yen, all right? Millions. All right, so my apologies. Cash, 802,247 million yen. Total, 937,945 million yen. So I probably should start saying it like that. My apologies, everybody out there. This is a healthy bank. And I would love to have XLM being utilized through all of those 7-Elevens. So you guys can comb through this. You'll see that it's in millions of yen when you get there, okay? And you can comb through this PDF document. That is very healthy. Income before taxes, 35,655 million yen. Listen, XLM price, I expect a very healthy raise of toe, but I believe like it's going to happen in levels. I think that's just logical. I think that's logical. Look, the parabolic runs are going to be healthy, and I expect people to take profit at every leg of that parabolic run. It's going to be a series of them, in my humble opinion, because you're going to have large business institutions roll out at one moment. Then you're going to have commercial banks roll them out on their own time frame. Then you're going to have central banks rolling things out on their own time frame. We have all of these different things going on. So I don't understand how people can say it's just going to be one massive run. I don't see it that way at all. I think there's going to be many legs going up. How do I say that? Many parabolic runs. Let's just say it like that. There's going to be many different levels to this parabolic run. And I think they're all going to be very healthy, but it will be, they will happen at different times because there's different sectors that are going to roll things out at different times. They're not all on one time frame. They're not all on one accord. It doesn't work that way. At least I haven't seen it. Is it possible? Yes. Do I personally feel it's highly improbable? I think it is, so it's going to take time to obviously to roll these things out, but you all have heard the timelines from the professionals, okay? And that price is going to raise, though. That's the bottom line. That price is going to monstrously, by the way, monstrously. And people have been accumulating. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but XLM, in my opinion, is a safe hold. That's a long hold for me and a safe hold. I think any system that's trying to replace SWIFT and they're going to be used by any modicum of banks, going to see a healthy rise. It's not going to stay at 19 cents, 20 cents, 50 cents, 56 cents. What? And people have been collecting a ton of XLM, a ton. They've had time. They've been accumulating. They're going to have such healthy returns. In my humble opinion, it's ridiculous. It's just about them being able to be patient until that happens. If that's up to them. Whether you buy or sell means nothing to me. That's up to them. And for anyone who is going through any type of struggles, because the world has been insane lately, if they can survive that long without having to utilize too much of their crypto, that also is their own personal decision. Do what is best for you. Okay? Whatever's going to help you have a good life, do what's best for you. But my job is to come here and just give the research to you and also give you a little bit of my opinion. So I do share that and share a little bit of my joy, but you always do what's best for you. All right. I understand that. And even if you had no crypto, come back to the channel and hang out with Auphanim. All right. Because a lot of you out there, I appreciate. I like getting messages from you, and I like communicating with you. It makes me feel good. Makes me know that it helps me to know that what I'm doing here, it means something. So I greatly appreciate it. So even if you sold all your coins, and I'm not telling you to do that. I'm not telling you to do that. What you do is up to you. But even if you did all that, hey, come back to the channel and hang out with Auphanim, at least from time to time. I'd appreciate it. So anyway, I'm going to post this PDF in the members only section so they can read it first. That's just fair. Okay. They're keeping this channel alive. Okay. And then a few days from now, I mean, you can go look up the PDF for yourself if you really want to. But a few days from now, then I'll post it in the public on the public community tab. Okay. And then you can just give a look over it if you don't want to look it up for yourself and just download it directly. Okay. All right. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? That is a lot of millions of yen. This is a powerful organization. They want XLM to replace Swift. I wanted to also do this video because I say that a lot, and I don't think enough people know about Lightnet. We all talk about IBM, but a lot of people don't talk about Lightnet. That's important. That's important. All right. So there's a multitude of entities that want XLM to replace Swift. What happens to that price if they succeed? What happens to that price if they take even a modicum of Swift business? They're moving big. Swift is moving big money. What happens to that price? Raise it tall? Raise it tall. That price is going to raise. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to the money.